Welcome to this event. It's a big day for Delaware and a big day for businesses and employees throughout our state. We're here to discuss a couple of things. One, the state's proposal for Amazon HQ2. We also want to make note that this is much bigger than solely Amazon. This is a conversation and a pitch for all businesses who are looking to come and grow right here in the state of Delaware. We want it to be known that Delaware has options for you. We're also going to be showing a new video aimed to showcase Delaware to companies and highlight what makes our state a special place. I want to take a moment right now to thank the Delaware Contemporary for hosting today's event. The Delaware Contemporary is a museum that presents nearly 30 exhibitions a year of regionally, nationally, and internationally recognized artists. In addition to the exhibitions, the museum commits to educational and community outreach through various programs, partnering with more than 60 community groups and schools. Please feel free to explore the galleries before you leave today. The museum will have staff on hand for questions. So, without further ado, I want to get right into it so we can get to our governor. And I just wanted to highlight what Amazon mentioned that they were looking for in HQ2. And we're here to say that we meet all of Amazon's requirements and all the things that Amazon was looking for from their states, from being within 30 miles of a population center of at least 1 million people, proximity to an international airport with daily flights to Seattle, San Francisco, New York City, and Washington, D.C., proximity to highways and arterial roads, easy access to mass transit, initial space of 500,000 square feet. Delaware checks all of these boxes. In just a few short weeks, we worked to hear possibilities, narrow the field of sites, and present the best options to Amazon. And I want to thank all of our partners, both in the private sector and in government, city, county, the Department of State, specifically the Division of Small Business Development and Tourism, for which I am the director. But also want to make point to mention Patty Cannon, who had the lead responsibility of herding all of the cats. So without further ado, I want to make sure that your applause for Patty and I's boss is just as robust as your applause for myself and Patty. I want to recognize and bring up to the stage Governor John Carney.
I wish I had an offensive lineman like that, Mike, when I was playing quarterback at St. Mark's. That's one big man. I'm really excited to be here with all of you to talk about the Amazon project. This has been a project that's been discussed across our state. I can't tell you how many calls I've received, how many people I've talked to out on the streets with their own ideas about Delaware's options for this project, how great it would be for them to choose the first state. And it's been an incredible opportunity for us to look at across our state to assess our strengths and weaknesses. And as Saran said, Ron is the director of our new office of our Division of Small Business Development and Tourism in the Secretary of State's office, because we did, based on our recommendations from the Business Roundtable, and I see Bob Perkins here. Bob, thanks for all your work on that and the Roundtable. We did create a public-private partnership to do economic development in our state. John Raleigh, who's the interim CEO, is here. John, thank you for your willingness to lead us in the transition and for all your work. This is a team effort. This is a Delaware team effort. We have our Congresswoman, we have our Lieutenant Governor, members of the House and the Senate who are with us today. You're going to hear from our Congresswoman, Blunt Rochester, who's going to be the #1 cheerleader up here as she gets to the floor. She's good at that. Our mayor and our county executive. And we're only going to be successful not just on this project, but on any project that comes down the road if we stick together as a team and we sell what Delaware has to offer. And so I'm really excited to be with you here with you today to announce the sites that we submitted in our proposal, some of which is subject to a confidentiality agreement. This is a little bit different. Most of you who know these kinds of projects than the way we normally do this, which mostly is quietly done with a lot of confidentiality. But it's been different from the beginning. Amazon was very straightforward in coming out and inviting proposals from across the country, from every state and every region, and they got them. And many of those states have gone forward and talked about their proposals. And so we'd like to talk about our proposal today. I see Patty Cannon back there shaking her head with a big smile from here to here. Another round of applause for Patty, because she did so much work in putting this all together. So as Saran said, we had sites that met the criteria, and I'd like to talk about those. There are 3 of them. The first we refer to as the First State Crossing, which is in the very northern tier of our state in Claymont. It's 425 acres, the former steel mill site there. It's got all the utilities in place. It's the future home of the Claymont train station, which was an important part of their requirements. And Congresswoman Blunt Rochester and our delegation, Senator Carper and Senator Coons, will help us secure the federal funding for that project. It's 20 miles from Philadelphia City Hall. You remember the requirement to be within 30 miles of a million population city, 13 miles from the Philadelphia airport. You can get there really quickly. The second is a combination of properties, a whole assembly of properties owned by different entities on South Market Street along the Christina River. Again, this is a coalition of landowners, will be led by the Buccini Pollen Group. 79 acres on the beautiful Wilmington riverfront would be a real keystone, capstone for that project. It's right across the river, as you all know, from the Amtrak Wilmington train station, our own Joseph R. Biden Jr. Train station. One third of the mile across and 27 miles from Philadelphia City Hall. And the final site is 1800 Concord Pike, which is currently part of the AstraZeneca complex owned by Deladon Associates. This is a site that would accommodate the first 500,000 square feet that they're looking for, and could be used in addition to the other sites, would exclusively have to be used in that capacity. It's a mile from I-95. It's about 500,000 square feet and 26 miles, again, from that magic number off of Philadelphia City Halls. As we looked at the options here in Newcastle County in northern Delaware, had to be in northern Delaware because of the proximity to the city of Philadelphia. We had other good locations, but these are our top 3. And we're really excited about the opportunity to market these to the company. We've talked to them about the idea of combining the AstraZeneca site with the other 2. But it's not just for this Amazon competition. We're going to start a campaign, the #OptionsInDelaware campaign. The whole idea of our proposal is that Amazon has options here in the first state. We decided not to put one site location in front of Amazon, but to allow them to have some choices, as other companies that we try to encourage through the public-private partnership, the Prosperity Partnership, as we encourage companies to come to the first state. So this #OptionsInDelaware campaign will feature a social media campaign using the #OptionsInDelaware logo. We will do tours that connect the state's strengths for attracting business, transportation, our location, internet connectivity, and arts and culture. And increasingly, quality of life factors into where these companies want to locate, and that's why it's so important that the mayor, the county executive, and I work together with the legislature, members of city council, and our congressional delegation on making Delaware the place that we all want it to be. And lastly, we have a new video highlighting what makes Delaware special. I think you'll like it, why businesses should come and locate here, and we're going to premiere that video right now.
This is Delaware. Your business is probably incorporated here. Delaware might also be the perfect place to move your operations. If you're looking for the perfect location at the center of the Northeast Corridor with all the benefits of any major metro, but without all the costs, you have options in Delaware. Delaware's location couldn't be better for anyone looking to do business on the East Coast. Less than 20 minutes away from the Philadelphia airport, right on Amtrak's Northeast Corridor. You can do a morning meeting in New York or DC and be back in time for lunch. Are you looking for a hip urban setting on a beautiful riverfront? Class A high-rise office space? How about an industrial warehouse? Delaware has a variety of options for locating your business. Wilmington even has a major port. That's a big boat. Another resource Delaware has a lot of is talent. As part of the Philadelphia metro area, the largest in the country for academics, you have access to graduates from over 100 colleges and universities, industry veterans, and nationally recognized workforce training programs. Talent is the reason why all these companies call this place home. How about housing and lifestyle? Delaware has options there as well. For an affordable urban lifestyle, there's Wilmington. Quiet, friendly suburbs! Or you can live in the country. For a big city feel, there's Center City, Philadelphia. And all these options are just a short ride from work. For recreation, Delaware is renowned for its breathtaking natural beauty. The East Coast premier summer music festival. Where's my wallet? Where's my wallet? You could see a Broadway show on Broadway and be home in 90 minutes. Or relax at one of Delaware's famous beaches. Delaware knows business better than anyone. The modern corporation was invented here, and 60% of the Fortune 500 handle their important matters right here. Coffee?
Are we too even?
Did I mention that there's no sales tax in Delaware? Immediate access to decision makers in both business and government makes getting things done incredibly efficient. Right, Jim?
You'll see people like the governor so much, you'll get tired of it.
Oh, hey, Jim.
Hey, Governor.
Delaware might be America's best kept secret. You get so much here. The perfect space. Top talent, lifestyle options, every amenity, and quick access to anywhere in the hottest region on Earth, all at an affordable price. If you can envision it, you can build it in Delaware. So when you're thinking of a new home for your business, before looking at the usual suspects, consider your options.
So in Delaware, when you're governor, you're just another guy in the coffee shop. But in Delaware, whether you're Amazon or any other company across the country, you have options. When you talk about our members of Congress, though, no options. Just one fantastic young lady, Lisa Blunt Rochester.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. That was amazing. Wasn't that incredible? It is wonderful to be here with our governor, lieutenant governor, members of the General Assembly, our mayor, our county executive, all of the business and people and entrepreneurs that are in the audience, to really make the case for how amazing Delaware is. And as I was thinking, amazing sounds very similar to Amazon. Amazing, that's Delaware. There are so many reasons to love Delaware, and I can tell you from someone who's lived around the world, as I have, there's no place quite like Delaware. We've made significant steps to ensure that we created an environment that businesses can grow and thrive. Our workforce, as you've learned, is highly trained and educated, but we haven't stopped working there on creative ideas to make sure that we have programs to continue to grow and enhance our workforce. And we've continued to invest in programs. And a major reason is, number one, how accessible we are. I mean, the video showed it very well. You can go to Target and meet Joe Biden. I mean, you can walk along the riverfront and meet our mayor, our governor, our mayor, our county executive, the congressional delegation. We meet regularly with the business community because for us, it's a real partnership. And I don't know of any other state, and I've heard this around the country, where you really can have the kind of access that business folks have to the governor and the mayor and all of their elected officials. Another benefit is the proximity to other cities, as was shown in the video. It's all in the video. That's an incredible video. We are so close to major cities, and then just the different methods of transportation that was mentioned as well, in terms of rail, car, bikes. As a matter of fact, we are known for a lot of the work that we're doing to create a great transportation hub. But we're also not just focused on business, we're also focused on the quality of life. And so even to be in this facility where we're talking about, where we have the arts here, it's a major, major draw and component for Delaware as a place to live. It's my understanding, in addition to having miles and miles of biking trails, we've been named the 3rd most bike-friendly state in the country, and Matt Meyer actually rode his bike here today. We are also blessed with some of the most beautiful beaches that I've seen in the world. And so part of this is bigger than a pitch. It is about a way of life. Our family farms, our beaches, our great city and restaurants and culture. That's really what we're about here in Delaware. Even our parks won the 2016 National Gold Medal Award for Excellence in Park and Recreation Management. Let's give us a round of applause for that. I'm proud of Delaware. And I will tell you, as I was thinking about all of these different things, it really became clear to me that, number one, accessibility. We are accessible as people, and it's easy to reach out and have conversations with any of us and to work on some of the tough issues. Accessibility. Mobility, whether it's rail, whether it's the port, whether it's air, there's a lot of mobility here. Affordability, the cost of living. It is not as expensive as some of these other surrounding areas. So, affordability and home of tax-free shopping. And then we are zealotly passionate about the economic growth of our state and the quality of life, as I mentioned. We have an outstanding and diverse, skilled workforce and a never-ending focus on innovation. This is Delaware. Accessible, mobile, affordable, zealous, outstanding, never-ending. Do you know what that spells? Amazon! So this is our real outreach to any company that wants to come to Delaware. We are an incredible place to live, to work, to start your business, to grow your business. And so on behalf of the congressional delegation, we want to encourage, not just encourage, but really, as the governor said, we want to cheer. Matter of fact, if I needed to get into I think we will. Give me an A. A. Give me an M. A. Give me an A. A. Give me a Z. Z. Give me an O. O. Give me an N. N. What's that spell? Amazon. What's that spell? Amazon. I think it spells Delaware. Woo! And with that, I'm going to introduce one of the powerhouses right here in the city of Wilmington, who is making us an even greater place to live and grow and develop, our mayor, Mike Przicki.
I have a rule. The rule, it's a firing offense in my office if they schedule me to speak after Chris Coons, if you've ever heard Chris. The rule has been amended. I don't speak after her. I feel like low energy Jeb. I mean, and listen, Governor, I don't care which of those 3 sites you pick. They are all in my long-term annexation plan anyway. Oh man, out there. Don't you love Delaware? This is good. What's that? So listen, the people of our city are really, really pleased to be part of this effort. It's just wonderful to work with friends to pull something grand together, and we're going to give it our all. You know, it's funny, we have a beautiful city, but I almost think that historically we've always thought, you know, there's Baltimore and Washington and Philadelphia and New York. We're sitting there thinking like little us. People come and visit our city. They are always saying, I can't believe how beautiful the city is. I mean, I hear it all the time from people. You know, we had a bunch of prospective police chiefs come into this town early in the year, and every single one was like, Mayor, I can't tell you, I was expecting something very different. And so, you know, every single day, people forget 50,000 people come to work here every single day. We've got a great bond rating. We've got 1,000 apartment units under construction or being proposed. We have 3 hotels that we're going to deliver by the middle of next year. We have beautiful, beautiful public spaces. You know, my biker friend over here, the biker without the motorbiker friend, you know, he's going to have the industrial park, the industrial track to be riding his bike on. If you haven't, and it's disappointing to me that when I talk to people who tell me how great the city is, and I say, how do you like the refuge? And they go, where's that? And I think, no, you got to go down and see the refuge. It is just so, so beautiful. So we've got so many great amenities. As everybody mentioned, you know, our location is a tremendous asset. You can walk to the train station, Mr. Amazon, I don't want to call him Jeff, I don't want to be presumptuous, but you know, you can walk to the train station, you can hit a, well, driver 8-iron to I-95 and maybe driver 3-wood to 495, but they're close, you know, it's wonderful. And so, you know, I think we checked all those boxes off. The site we had in mind is just an extraordinary site on the kind of the second thought side of the river. When we did our riverfront, we just stayed all on the west side, and now we're building this beautiful bridge to the east side, and you know, working with our great friends over at BPG, we put together a plan for how this site might fit right there, how this project might fit on that site, and it's an extraordinary effort of design that one of these days we're going to release to the public, but it's just beyond exquisite, and it's really exciting, and I think it's going to catch the attention of anybody who looks at it, and we're so pleased. We're so pleased to be part of this. There are 2 benefits. Hopefully we're going to catch someone's attention and someone's going to say, you're a serious candidate. The second thing is this has been a wonderful exercise. This has been a great exercise for us to think about ourselves and look at us the way others would look at ourselves. And I think it's been a very, very helpful exercise among friends. I want to tell you that I spoke to a bunch of defense contractors back about, I guess it might be 2 months now. And they seemed so impressed that the mayor would come and welcome them, as I did. And I said, look, here's Delaware. You call me and I'll get back to you in 5 minutes. Governor might take 10 minutes, and give me 12 hours, I'll get the whole congressional delegation on the phone for you. And that's what Delaware is. I mean, that's the best part of our Delaware way. And I sat with one of the biggest bankers in the world not too long ago, and I asked him, how do you get along with de Blasio? And he said to me, I have now sat with you longer than I ever have with the mayor of New York. And so we take for granted that the governor returns your call and we'll be here in a minute's notice, that we can get 2 senators and a congresswoman in the room the day to solve your problem. That doesn't happen everywhere. And so that's our blessing, and that's my great blessing to be a part of these great friends. So we're in this, whether it's here or there, we're in it. We've got your back. Thanks very much. Now, so we're all friends, which is a blessing. We're really good friends. And our newest friend, Matt Meyer. Come on up, Matt. Say hi.
Thank you so much, Mr. Governor, the wonderful Congresswoman, Mr. Mayor. You ever heard of inverse annexation? The riverfront is not too far from the county line. So I was sitting out on the beautiful Brandywine River the other day thinking about what I was going to say today. And I was tempted to tell you that the Brandywine River will be the Amazon River. And then I thought about it, and no, we don't want to do that. But maybe we want to say every newborn in the county will be named Alexa. And we'll go with that, but I don't think I can get that through county council. But I did think that when you undergo something like this, you got to understand what the other side of the table is thinking. What are they thinking? A lot of people in this room have spent a lot of time in the last 6 weeks trying to figure out, what is Amazon thinking? Where are their priorities? A lot of leaders just like us all over this country are sitting in rooms just like this, as they have for the past 6 weeks, trying to think, what are they thinking? And so I did a little research. Does anyone know Relentless.com? Relentless.com was a website, a domain name, that a guy named Jeff Bezos registered 23 years ago to sell books. Eventually, he talked to some friends and some advisors, and they said Relentless was too harsh, and so they went with Amazon. But I think Relentless describes a lot of what Amazon is and how they've succeeded. I think that's good news for us, because if you look at our own history, if you look at what has happened on the banks of that very same Brandywine River back in 1802, when a man named E.I. DuPont from France chose, in the first the pre-Amazon competition, chose Delaware and chose Newcastle County and chose Wilmington. He came with that same relentless spirit. And it's that same relentless spirit that's created many of the great inventions of the last century right here in Delaware, right here in this county, right here in this city. Things like Teflon and nylon, inkjet cartridges, invented right here. W.L. Gore, all the innovations at MBNA in the financial services industry. So as we look to a future of innovation and entrepreneurship, we first should pause and look back and realize that we've had that, and we have that here. Jackify at Insight, saving lives, a cancer drug, developed right here. And I think that's exactly what Jeff Bezos, the leadership of Amazon, is about. That's what they're looking for. Bezos, 23 years ago, was also very much into something called regret minimization framework. He had a great job as a vice president at a fine firm called D.E. Shaw, basically an investment bank, a hedge fund in New York. And he quit, moved out west to start this company. And he said in hindsight, the reason he did was something called regret minimization framework. Regret minimization, meaning you think about, in the future, what are my regrets going to be? What are my regrets going to be? And you do everything you can today to minimize them. You do everything you can today to minimize them. And a lot of that is about taking risk, sticking your neck out. And a lot of what Saran and Patty Cannon and Tamara Morris, who headed the county's team on this, have done is said, let's stick our neck out. Let's show people what Delaware is. Because that's what we're about. That's what Amazon's about, and that's what we're about. And third, one thing that was clear is that Amazon wanted communities that work together. And as has been said, many times before, as the mayor eloquently stated, there's no better place for collaboration than right here in Newcastle County. There is no better place. You heard it, Insight, we broke a record just a couple weeks ago in the time it took to record a land use plan in Newcastle County. So we're working very hard to be as collaborative as we possibly can be. So not just Amazon, but companies around the world look to Newcastle County and look to Delaware and see the future. The future is now. Together with all of you here in this room, we're going to win the future. We're going to win it with Amazon, and we're going to win it with so many other companies, some of which are outside of Delaware, and some of them are already right here. Thank you.